I think for each in geometry node is very useful, although it's just at the beginning period, but it's still very useful, and I use that method to make this Aerolite effect, although it's very simple and you can make this by other methods. But by for each, it has its advantage, and I will show you. So let's begin our tutorial today. So let's go to Blender 4.3, and before we begin our tutorial, I will show you the principle. So the first step, I will change this cube into the Aerolite, the weird shape stone, and then I will use for each to make many Aerolites, many. And after we have these Aerolites, so we will begin to build a particle system here by geometry nodes, and it will emit particles to one direction, or you just can define the particle system by yourself or make any animations. So here I will just use a very simple particle system, and then I will move these Aerolites into the particle system to correspond the moving. So finally we will have the Aerolite that I showed in the animation. So let's clean. So let's go to geometry node. Press new and create a geometry node. And we need to use set position to make the first Aerolite. So before that, we can see that it has only 8 points. So it's not enough, so we need to subdivide them first. Change it to 4. Then we have enough points. Let's see, enough points. Then we can choose a texture. Here I will use noise texture. You can use other texture. Check. Blender has many textures. You can use any of this to create that effect, just as you want. If you like that texture, you can use that. So then we can use the map range here, change it to vector, because the value of the noise is always from 0 to 1. So in 3D environment, we want it always to be -1 to 1. So like this. So if so we have this effect. Because the scale is too much big, we can change it to 0.7, like this. It will be like this. So we can use the mass vector, change it to scale, put it here, and you can change the strength. So we have Aerolite here, and we can turn to 4D, because we will use the W. It's the seed attribute here. So this is very important. And the first Aerolite is like maybe 0.7. Is better, yeah. The first step is finished, and next we will use for each to build a for each system. We can see that here in the input, we need a geometry node. We need a geometry that we will use the point mode. We will use each point in the geometry. And second, here the output, this one, the upper one, is outputting the original geometry. So we don't want that. We want the downside socket. Here it outputs the processed geometry. That's what we want. So we put it here. And on the left side, there is a geometry socket here. It's the input of the geometry, the processed geometry here. So we put it here, and we can notice that in the viewport, everything disappeared. So that's not a problem, because we didn't have the original geometry because there are no point here. So if we have no point, so the for each is like 0, nothing. So we need to have something here. Here, for demonstrate, I will use a point here. So now we have a point here. And here, we connected the wrong socket. This is the original geometry. We don't want that. We want the processed geometry here. So we have this Aerolite here. So we can see the spreadsheet here. It has 1.5k points. So remember that because when we add the count, we can see the vertex is increased, is doubled. So if I change the 3, it's tripled. So that's what we need. And we can see that nothing changed here. The stone is not changed. So to make it work, we will use the W, the seed. So we want every stone has a different seed. So the Aerolite will be different. So we have index here. It's different for every point. So we connect it index to W. So we have this. The number of the vertex didn't change, but the shape changed. Let's disconnect this. You have this. Connect this. We have this. So we succeed. So if you want to see it more clearly, we can use a grid here. This grid has 9 points. Check the spreadsheet. It has 9 points. So delete this. Can connect the mesh to geometry. It's too much big. So we need to make this Aerolite smaller. So connect the to value. Like 0.1. Yeah, that's okay. So delete the point. But we check that it didn't change. It's all of the geometry is in the center. That's normal because we ignored something. We ignored the position of the geometry. They are all in the world origin. So to change that, we need to set position. We need the position of the original point. So we need here sample the value of the connect here. Sample the value of position, change it to vector, and connect to here. The original geometry is the grid. Connect the grid here, and everything disappeared because we needed to connect the index. We could connect the index from for each here to here. So we have this Aerolite, and remember to save that because sometimes it will crash. So we have this, and if we increase the number of the vertex, so the Aerolite increased, and you can check that the shape of the Aerolite is different. They all have different shapes. So that's what we want. So second, we need to create the particle system. That's the simple one. So here I use a grid. We preview that. It's like this. And I needed to transform it to make it vertical, and then distribute points on faces like this, yeah. And then have a simulation node here, connect here, and then set position. Let's check the direction. Okay, here 0.1, so it will move. And then we want not only one frame point, we want every frame the particle system will emit point. So we need to join geometry. Join the geometry in each frame. So it has more points, but they are too much like in order. So I want it to be random. I don't want it to be so much organized. So we need to connect scene time frame to seed, and let's check. So it will be like this. I think too much points, maybe 2. Change the density to 2. Yeah, that's maybe what I want. So we have the particle system here. So above I will join, then this is Aerolite. And below is basic particle. So this system is basic particle. You can add more animation to this particle systems if you want. So you can check my former tutorials. I have many tutorials about the particle systems. So you can check them to find out how to add the animation. So here it's just for demonstration. So this simple particle system is okay. So delete preview. We need to remove the grid and connect the particle system here. So it will be like this. We need to make it slower to see the animation. So you can see that problem happened. Every shape is changing. So this is an ordinary problem because we use the index to change the shape. By this method, the index is kind of confusing in particle system because I will show you here. Connect the index to value and check here viewport overlays and take here attribute text. So you will see the black is 0, all values above 1 is white. So press play, 0 is always here, and here the number is always increasing. So that means the index is always increasing for every point. So here we can't use the index because it's changing. So what we use is ID. ID is create. This attribute is created and invented by Houdini, which is very useful. And Blender has this too. So this value will not change in particle system. Every point has specific ID. It will not change. So we just put ID here and connect to W. So that's finished. And we delete the viewer. You can see magic happened. So I think this is the whole tutorial. And yeah, if the points is too much, you need to delete the extra points you don't want. So this is a kind of fixed structure. I hope one day Blender will create a node, a join node for it. So every frame store the attribute named t, it means time. Every frame add 1, and after that compare the value with if it is bigger than 100, delete the points. So maybe here, let's check 100 frame. So that's what we want. So I think this is the whole effect, and it's working very well. It's very simple, and I hope you can know more about for each element by this tutorial. So this is all about today's tutorial, and thank you for watching. If you want to see my future videos, please subscribe, and if you like my video, please thumbs up. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.